Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We take the most complex source material out there, the articles, the histories, the tech specs, and, well, we boil it down into what you really need to know.
To be truly informed, yeah.
Exactly. And today, we're shifting gears a bit. We're not diving into global markets or politics. Instead, we're exploring the really intricate and intensely personal world of bespoke luxury. Specifically, we're doing a comprehensive deep dive into Solitaire Eggs' Alex Armen. They're a Toronto-based design studio, and they're known for moving way beyond mass-produced stuff, They create pieces that really tell a unique story.
It's such a fascinating part of the luxury world, isn't it? Often you buy high-end and you're buying a brand,
Right.
a certain look that many people have.
Right, the mass appeal.
Exactly. But with true bespoke work, like what we're looking at here, you're investing in something different. It's a process, it's a partnership, really, and it's a story.
And our sources for this are pretty extensive. We've got detailed production notes, history timelines, client reviews going back decades. It all paints a picture of what real personalization looks like.
Yeah, it's all centered around the artistry, the craftsmanship, and importantly, rigorous quality control. That comes through again and again.
Absolutely. So our mission today is, well, pretty clear. We need to unpack what makes this specific approach, this level of personalization and craft stand out, especially in Toronto's jewelry scene, which is known for being competitive and, frankly, pretty quality-focused.
It is. Lots of talent there.
For sure. So we've structured our dive around four main themes, or pillars, if you like. First, the artisan, that's the designer, Alex Armen.
The visionary behind it.
Then, the legacy Solitaire's history, over 40 years as a family business, which is incredible.
Journey.
Third, the bespoke service. This is about the client experience before, during, and even long after the sale. They really emphasize that.
That, not just a number idea.
Exactly. And finally, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the craftsmanship and materials, exploring how they ensure, as they say, no shortcuts are taken.
It's a thorough look.
Yeah.
And really, to understand the quality they deliver now, you have to start with the artist shaping it. Alex Armen.
Okay, let's do that. Let's focus on Alex Armen first. He's the main artist, the designer, working exclusively for Solitaire's clients. His base is their design studio right in downtown Toronto.
Described as pretty vibrant.
Yeah. And he's often called a humble artisan, but, when you look at what he actually brought to the Canadian jewelry industry, his impact is, well, significant. It's actually kind of groundbreaking.
What's really striking about him, based on the sources, is this blend he embodies. He seems to fully respect and master the traditional ways, the old-school goldsmithing.
Right, the handcraft.
But he also fully embraced new technology. Solitaire's history is deep in traditional craft, but Alex introduced innovations that really changed how custom jewelry could be made in Canada.
And we can actually pinpoint when this happened. The sources are clear. 2002. That's when Alex Armen is credited with pioneering and bringing both digital jewelry design, using CAD software and 3D printing tech, to the Canadian market.
Think about that for a second. 2002. That's a huge leap technologically for an industry that, for centuries, relied almost entirely on a very skilled hand, a trained eye, and maybe some wax carving.
Yeah, it must have been revolutionary at the time.
It's more than just a new tool. It fundamentally shifted possibilities. Traditionally, you'd carve a model painstakingly out of wax, by hand. Beautiful results, absolutely, but limited in some ways.
Okay.
Incorporating digital design and 3D printing, that allows for incredibly complex shapes, perfect symmetry, exact proportions, things that are almost impossible to achieve consistently by hand, especially with intricate settings or really unique band designs.
So it ensures the digital vision translates perfectly to the physical model.
Flawlessly, into a physical wax model that's then ready for the traditional casting process. Precision is the key word there.
Okay, but was there pushback? I mean, I can imagine some traditionalists in the early 2000s looking at computers and thinking, this isn't art anymore, it's taking away the soul.
That's a really good question. And the sources hint that, yeah, there probably was some initial skepticism. It's natural, right? But the key thing about Alex Armen's approach seems to be that he didn't replace the traditional craft. He enhanced it. The digital part ensures incredible precision before the hands-on goldsmithing even starts.
Ah, okay. So it's a hybrid approach.
Exactly. You still need the expert human touch for casting the metal, for meticulously setting the stones, for the final polishing, all that crucial finishing work. It's this smart blend that lets the design achieve that core goal they talk about. Balance, quiet beauty, simplicity. letting the diamond's natural grace shine.
It's intentional design, as they say, marrying old skills with new capabilities.
Precisely. And this capability, this blend, is directly tied to their commitment to being made in Toronto. That phrase pops up a lot.
Yeah, it seems more than just a label for them. It feels central to their identity and probably their quality control. Why is that local aspect so important?
Well, the sources suggest two main reasons.
Yeah.
Quality control, definitely, and also a kind of cultural connection. Their Toronto workshop isn't just an assembly point.
Right.
It's described quite poetically as a sanctuary for creativity, a place where the idea goes straight from Alex's digital screen to the goldsmith's bench, all under one roof.
So when they say a piece is crafted meticulously from initial idea to final polish in Toronto, they mean it literally, no outsourcing.
Exactly. It guarantees a closed loop for quality. They're promising no parts are being sent off to anonymous factories somewhere else. They oversee every single step.
That really speaks to that desire you sometimes have as a buyer, wanting something unique, something tied to a specific place. By keeping it all local, they're saying this piece reflects Toronto's art scene, its energy.
It gives it a cultural fingerprint, you could say. Something a generic, globally produced item just can't have. It's a piece of Toronto artistry you can actually wear.
It's about authenticity, then.
Absolutely. The designer is there, the craftspeople are there, the accountability is right there. And this whole approach reinforces their design philosophy too, aiming for that timeless appeal that comes from precision and care. It all rests on them seeing the piece through every stage, making sure those quality standards they built over decades aren't compromised.
That makes sense. And that dedication, that local focus, clearly comes from a deep history. So let's explore that legacy. Let's trace Solitaire's story, their shining through generations theme. It's over 4 decades now.
Yeah, it's quite the story. It really starts as a classic Canadian immigrant narrative, full of entrepreneurial spirit. The founder came to Canada in 1980, looking for a fresh start.
A new beginning?
And just 3 years later, bang, 1983, Solitaire opens its doors in downtown Toronto. From the very beginning, the focus was clear. A family business deeply committed to quality, to creativity, in jewelry.
But launching a business like that, especially back then, it couldn't have been easy. They must have faced market challenges. What stands out is how they navigated those, how they adapted.
Oh, definitely. The late 80s, early 90s, traditional retail was facing some headwinds, areas were contracting. Solitaire didn't just sit back and wait.
What did they do?
They made a really smart pivot around 1990. They saw a niche opportunity, manufacturing jewelry for other major Canadian retailers, essentially becoming a key supplier for big names like Consumers Distributing and even the very upscale Maison Berks.
Wow, so they were behind the scenes for those major brands.
For a time, yes. It was a crucial move. It gave them volume, it kept the lights on, and importantly, it really honed their large-scale manufacturing skills and processes. Ironically, that technical capability became the foundation for their later shift back to custom work.
That manufacturing experience must have been invaluable. But then came another big shift, right? Just a couple of years later, in 1992.
That's right. They noticed something changing in what people wanted. Customers weren't just content with the standard retail offerings anymore. There was this growing demand for unique engagement rings, higher quality pieces, but, and this is key, at a fair price. People were becoming wary of the big retail markups.
They wanted custom without the custom price tag, essentially.
Or at least a more transparent, fair price for true quality and uniqueness. And that's when the family made a really courageous decision. They decided to move completely away from manufacturing for the big retailers.
Dropping clients like Berks. That sounds risky.
Hugely risky. But they committed 100% to making custom, bespoke jewelry themselves right there in Toronto. That transition cemented their identity. It was about quality over quantity, putting the client-specific vision front and center.
That takes real confidence in your craft and your ability to connect directly with buyers who value that customization.
Immense confidence. But it gave them total control over the design, the materials, the final product. They traded the security of volume for artistic freedom and ultimate quality control. And that freedom, that focus on unique creation, led to one of the most, unexpected parts of their story.
Ah, you mean the Hollywood connection.
Exactly. The Hollywood North connection, starting around 1997. This is where it gets really fun. Toronto's film industry was booming downtown back then.
Yeah, lots of filming.
And Solitaire apparently became this go-to place for complex movie prop requirements. They were frequently commissioned to create intricate, sometimes historically precise, jewelry pieces needed for movies and TV shows shooting in the city.
Imagine that pressure. Film deadlines are notoriously tight, and the props have to look perfect on camera, often mimicking specific styles or even fantastical designs.
And their manufacturing background probably helped. They could handle volume and precision under pressure. That skill set suddenly applied to creating unique artistic props,
The sources list some specific examples, which really shows the trust the film industry had in them. Pieces for Stephen King's Storm of the Century.
which would need specific atmospheric detail.
Right. And the period complexity of Grey Gardens, the disco glamour of 54.
Studio 54, yeah.
Yeah.
Big difference in style.
Then action movies like Four Brothers and TV shows like Relic Hunter, Nikita, even that Sylvester Stallone racing movie, Driven.
Creating something for a period piece like Grey Gardens, or maybe a specific plot-important item for a thriller, that's often way more complex than a standard engagement ring. You might need special metal finishes, maybe material substitutions for budget or safety, and definitely rapid turnarounds.
So that whole side hustle, as you called it, really proved their technical depth.
Absolutely. It solidified their reputation for handling high-stakes, specialized crafting. And you have to imagine that adaptability, that skill under pressure, feeds directly into how they handle every client commission today.
They really used their traditional skills to adapt and thrive. It's impressive. So looking at where they are now, they hit their 40th anniversary in 2023, still emphasizing quality over quantity. That solid 4-decade foundation, it connects directly to the personal service they offer, which is our next pillar, right?
Yes, exactly. Moving from the historical foundation to the human element. The whole experience at Solitaire x Alex Armen is framed not just as buying jewelry, but as a personal journey, self-expression.
Right. That commitment you mentioned earlier, the client is not just another sale or number. That seems core to their ethos.
It does. And the process itself starts very simply.
Mhm.
You book a meeting. The goal, according to the sources, is to make the whole thing smooth, collaborative, enjoyable. Working closely with the designer Alex Armen, or Arby, who also gets mentioned positively in reviews.
Oh, okay, so there's another key person there.
Seems so. Working with them to bring your specific vision to life, tailored to exactly what you need or want.
And the reviews really emphasize the role these designers play, not just as artists, but as guides. Knowledgeable, passionate, acting more like expert consultants than just salespeople.
That guidance apparently goes pretty deep, even considering lifestyle factors when suggesting options.
Can you give an example of that? How does lifestyle come into it beyond just taste?
Yeah, there was a great story from one client. They knew what they wanted for the engagement ring, but the groom's wedding band, they were totally unsure.
Okay, common scenario.
Right. But instead of just showing a tray of standard bands, the designers apparently sat down with them and helped lay out options based on our preferences and lifestyles. So, if you work with your hands a lot, maybe a very intricate or high-set design isn't practical. They help you think that through.
That makes sense. Ensuring the ring isn't just beautiful sitting in a box, but actually works for your day-to-day life.
Exactly. It ensures the piece is sustainable for you. And that kind of detailed consultation really stands out. Another client mentioned going to a larger store before Solitaire and feeling like a generic customer, only being shown generic options.
Yeah, that impersonal feeling. When you're commissioning something potentially for life, you want more than that. You want a partnership.
And the service stories, the anecdotes, they really bring this dedication to life. There's one really powerful example involving sentimental value. A client had some old family jewelry, specifically a ring that had lost stones and a diamond necklace. They wanted to combine elements from both into a brand new custom ring.
Wow, that sounds tricky, melding old and new like that. Different pieces, different histories.
Very delicate, yeah.
Yeah.
But the review praised the team for working so carefully on the design, making sure it captured the feeling of the original pieces while creating something fresh. And importantly, they delivered it exactly on time and with a great budget. They handled the sentimentality with the same care as the technical side.
That's fantastic. But the story that really seems to capture their care that lasts a lifetime promise, the one that goes beyond just jewelry, it's that German tourist story, isn't it?
Oh, it's unforgettable. It has nothing to do with expensive gems, but everything to do with service and, well, human kindness.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so a tourist from Germany is in Toronto enjoying their vacation, and suddenly disaster strikes. The hinge on their prescription glasses breaks.
Oh no, that could ruin a trip.
Totally. They can't see properly. They're in a foreign city. They were apparently desperate. Someone recommended Solitaire. The sources say the tourist met Alex Armen outside the shop.
Okay.
And Alex didn't even blink. He took the broken glasses and just repaired the hinge for them right
Yeah.
there on the spot, immediately.
That's amazing service. But wait, there's a detail that makes it even better, right?
Yes. The kicker is, this happened on a national holiday.
No way.
Yeah, the store wasn't even officially open. But Alex still took the time to help this person save their vacation. It wasn't about making a sale. It was just about helping someone in need.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? That level of spontaneous, selfless care, regardless of whether they were a big client or just a tourist with broken glasses. It shows a deep commitment.
It really embodies that promise they make, care that lasts a lifetime. It suggests the support structure is real. They offer everything from that first chat to expert repairs down the line, making sure the piece, or maybe even your glasses hinge, continues to shine bright for years to come.
It feels like they genuinely take ownership of the quality and the relationship.
Which brings us perfectly to how they guarantee that quality in the first place. The materials they use, the craftsmanship they employ, that no shortcuts taken. Philosophy isn't just marketing speak. It seems to drive everything they do physically in the workshop.
The descriptions emphasize this meticulous, thoughtful approach. Every single step, from choosing the metals to setting the final stone, follows these rigorous, almost old-world standards.
And again, it's handcrafted in Toronto. That point is hammered home, reflecting authenticity, reflecting that deep-rooted tradition their 40-year history is built on. Okay, and if we look at the materials they use, that quality commitment seems pretty clear. They mention GIA-graded diamonds, natural and lab-grown, which is, well, expected at this level. But the detail I found really compelling was sourcing fine gemstones cut by German artisans, specifically from Idar Oberstein, that legendary cutting town. Why go for that hyper-specific regional craft if you're already using global standards like GIA?
That's a good question. I think that combination is the modern idea of luxury, isn't it? You seek the global standard, the GIA certification, for assurance, but you combine it with that specialized regional skill because, well, maybe that specific craftsmanship is needed to get their aesthetic across. They call it quiet beauty. It sounds like this principle makes sure every line, every curve, it's all about balance and proportion. It elevates the diamond's own beauty rather than overwhelming it.
Right, quiet beauty, I like that. Now, custom work like this, it can feel really intimidating for people, right? It takes a huge leap of faith. But the client reviews we saw, they consistently say the process is seamless, even stress-free. How do Alex and RB, the team there, manage to guide clients, especially those who walk in without a really clear picture of what they want?
It seems they turn what could be just a sales pitch into more of an educational chat, a consultation.
Yeah, the sources detail how they offer deep personalization. They walk clients through decisions, helping them make informed choices based on their actual lifestyle, their preferences for the long haul. So the client becomes, an actor down to 3 key benefits that resonate throughout the sources.
What's the first one?
Unmatched personalization. This is fundamental. It's not just picking from a catalog. It's a collaborative process. The final piece is genuinely yours, reflecting your story, your taste, your lifestyle, that emotional connection. You really aren't just another number in their system.
Okay, personalization is number 1. What's second?
Artisan excellence. It's this powerful combination. Alex Armen's artistry, his blend of traditional skill and cutting-edge tech like the digital design and 3D printing he pioneered in Canada, combined with Solitaire's 4 decades of gem expertise and meticulous traditional craftsmanship, all happening right there in Toronto.
That synergy between the artist and the established house. And the third benefit.
Toronto's unique touch. You're not just buying gold and gems, you're investing in a piece that carries the spirit of Toronto's art scene, crafted entirely locally by artisans who are part of that community. It ensures top quality, yes, but also gives it that authentic sense of place, of origin, a piece of local legacy.
So recapping the whole dive, Solitaire X Alex Armen seems defined by this deep 4-decade family history.
That foundation of resilience and adaptation.
The innovative artistry of Alex Armen, who really pushed the Canadian industry forward technologically.
That blend of old and new skills.
A serious commitment to transparency in how they source materials and how they price their work.
No shortcuts, ethical sourcing, clear costs.
And this intensely personalized client journey that treats jewelry not just as an object, but as a true reflection of identity, highlighted by those amazing service stories like the German tourist's glasses.
Yeah, that story says so much. It's about the human connection underpinning the craft.
That whole process, from the first conversation about lifestyle needs for a ring to the final meticulous polish in that Toronto sanctuary, it creates something truly lasting.
It really does.